hello everyone, and Podster is at the STEP conference in 2024, providing their accessible media platform to participants, speakers, sponsors, and everybody who is having fun with podcasts. And we're having Lama Masri in our pop-up studio this morning. Lama has just, actually, some time ago, got back from her big thing of becoming a mother for the second time. Congratulations on your lovely daughter. We had the first episode back in the days when you were still expecting. So how does it feel? How are you at STEP? Tell me everything.
Good morning, Laura. It's so good to see you, honestly.
Good to see you too.
She is just a breath of fresh air. Really, this woman, I love her.
Too much energy.
I love it. I love the energy. She just makes things happen. It's been a beautiful break. I've had 6 months of love and cuddles and oh my God, this gift, this power this woman has that you can bring, life. I'm enjoying every moment.
Yeah.
Back to work, back to podcasting. The space is beautiful. We have great, exciting new partnerships we've just announced. So excited to share with that. I don't know if you've heard about the deal we had with IMO.
No, please tell me. So Lama is from Podeo. That is a platform that provides a great platform for podcasters to upload their content there. So watch my episode with Lama back, I think probably 8 months ago. She was telling all about the ecosystem and what are the players in the ecosystem and what is Podeo, what is Angame, what is Apple Podcast, what are the applications. So just check out that episode on Speaking Terms at Villa Media, and you will learn a lot more about the podcasting ecosystem. But let's get back to Podeo. So What is the partnership? What is the recent one?
The beautiful thing is that I'm sure you know the messaging app, IMO. So it's much larger than WhatsApp actually.
Right.
And has 200 million active users.
Yep.
And we just unlocked listenership of podcasting onto the app, the messaging app. So this kind of redefining where voices can be listened is beautiful. It's unimaginable. And we've done that not just through hosting on Podeo and then distributing to third-party apps like the likes of Spotify, Angami, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. But moving on, we've distributed to more than offline, which is the airline distribution deal that we had with Anuvu as well, which is the leading in-flight, basically agent provider. And beyond that, we've now went to obviously we've done also 2 years ago with a gaming app, which was called Jawakir.
Right.
So as you're gaming, you end up tapping into
a
podcasting.
Podcast? Oh,
exactly.
Nice. Wow.
So
what a great way to discover, right?
Exactly. And because that's the main issue with podcasting is discoverability.
Yeah.
That is the biggest pain that we're dealing with. And we've been trying to push more AI to understand not just dialects that people are interested in listening to, but also what are my friends listening to? What should I tap into? What is the latest thing? What did my friend watch? So we've been basically data collection from the back end from all of our users that are on and what their user behavior from the listening app, and coming up with a sweeter spot of discovering the perfect podcast for you.
It's interesting because, you're right. Discoverability is, we're utilizing a lot of social media channels to make sure that our podcasts get exposure. But you're right, how important it is to find the platforms where it can be discovered naturally, right? And that is so sustainable from their creation perspective. So you record, you host, you upload, and then it's just discovered. So what do you foresee how this trend is going to evolve?
I feel that users and machine learning is going to be integrated. So I think the future of all these listening apps needs to embed AI, because they have to understand that how users are enjoying certain podcasts, where are they dropping off? So to recommend maybe shorter podcasts that they're more interested in.
Yeah.
Then maybe recommending at a certain time when they understand the user when he's listening to podcasts. So do push app notifications to when this user is at a certain time of day where they would naturally listen to a podcast. So making sure that data collection is in the back to better give the user a more seamless experience on maintaining his podcast listenership abilities. So
Interesting, but do you think it will go beyond the listening apps to something like gaming apps, to something probably something else? So do you foresee that trend to evolve, and in what direction particularly?
I think you need to think of the power of music.
Yep.
and where music went.
Yep.
Whether it is a concert, whether it's on a plane,
Yeah.
whether it's literally in a cafe. I'm sitting in a cafe. I feel the future of podcasts can be brought to so many other ways, where obviously you're already doing, in-car plays in cars, but what about in buses?
Yeah.
What about in taxis? What about, in elevators, right? And you could always have maybe short podcasts. What about in hotels? If I check in and I have a certain guest that is coming in, that I have learned through the AI where he's coming in from, imagine the power of giving him a dedicated podcast of the country where he's coming from, of his most interested topics, what happened, weather, top business topics that he's interested in, and do kind of like a dedicated podcast for him.
Interesting. No, that's interesting. I think there are so many ways in how all this media content or media brands and media stories that we're pushing either through a podcast, or we start doing it, let's say, from the keynotes and from the events, and how they merge with each other and how they become one single story, one single brand, but it's just discovered for people where they prefer to find their content. Yeah, that's helping us. Yeah, that's popping up, right?
Exactly.
That is what it's supposed to do. So, Lama, tell me, has Podeo has it grown over the last 8 months, 10 months? What is the audience currently?
So we are looking at I'm haven't really sure about the updates of the numbers, but we're looking at a 2.3 million listenership audience here in the UAE. You're looking at a 3.1 in Saudi Arabia. Egypt is also still high. They're usually at the highest. But correct me if I'm wrong. I need to look back at my deck to understand the numbers, because I've been out of date. But it's definitely increasing. People are interested. I think, obviously, with what's happening in the region, people are interested into listening to the political subjects, historical.
Yep.
People are now even interested to understand the history of Palestine, to tap into more authentic Arab nationalistic branding.
That's right.
and wanting to listen to those stories. There's people creating, and so many creators are starting to say, you know what, I want to share this Palestinian stories and the grandmothers, and I want to keep the legacy onwards, which I feel is so empowering, and it's really it's a beautiful mission to what we're building. So it's giving them that space to share that everlasting story, because they're wiping their lives away, but you can never wipe their voices nor their dreams. So
For sure. How about the number of creators who are subscribed for your platforms? Has this grown? Has this increased?
So last year we were at 50,000 podcasters.
Yep.
We're now at 75,000 podcasters.
Wow. So this is still going up.
It's still going up. It's a great need. People want to share, and it's, again, how do I discover Podeo, right? How do I get to find the right platform that can support me? Because you understand that, right? If we're doing a video podcast, you need to invest in the mic and the cameras and making sure that you have a post engineer, and it takes a lot of heavy load. Some people that usually want to they start off with the audio version, which is a much cheaper version, or you end up having to rent studios around the region that you can partner up with as well. So I think the barrier to entry is becoming less and less, because
Right.
there's so many cheaper products that are up there. I have some creators that are just doing a video podcast, but only with their phone, with 4K quality.
True.
They don't really need a professional camera.
True.
So there is a way to get these things, and the power with AI now of these marketing assets, deliverables that you can immediately build with them and create these short stories. It's becoming much easier to start your own brand, your own story, your own podcast. So,
But do you
exciting.
foresee the video podcasting stay, or do you are you an ambassador of the audio first content?
Really depends on the content and the category and what you want to share. If I'm talking about a woman from Saudi Arabia that she wants to share a controversial topic, I doubt she'll want to share it on video.
True.
So she'll rather enjoy the anonymity. I'm saying that wrong. Excuse my dyslexia. The anonymity, okay, of podcasting, being behind a wall. People don't know who I am, and sharing stories that maybe with a camera you wouldn't be so comfortable doing.
Right.
So there are certain topics, even I would rather say them over audio, and certain topics that, you know what, I want to splash around the video and show content and show the guests and show the expressions. But there's real power of audio, you know. There's also, because when people see the cameras, and I've said that before, they will automatically judge you. They'll probably look, okay, I'm listening to her, but I'll also look at her hair, how it's looking. You know, oh, there's a pimple maybe on her face. You know, oh, how's her shirt looking? You know, so they might get distracted from the content and focus more on the appearance and create a judgment. Who is this person? Why are they talking that way? Because unfortunately, we are born biased, whether we like it or not. So audio removes that layer. You know, I've been shocked sometimes to see the image of the speaker, of the podcast host, when I've listened them to so normally.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with movies, right? And books, where you read a book and you imagine your heroine, you know, to look at a certain way, the main cast, and then you watch the movie, you're like, no. That's not how I imagined you to look like. So I think there's enough room for both, and really create, don't be afraid of it. Start video, start audio. Please come and reach out with Podster. They're our partners. We have promo codes with them. We love them. Come and use their studios. And I'm really glad we catch up.
Yeah,
really, Laura.
No. I love it, and Lama always brings some kind of really fresh messages, and especially I think the messages that are talking about how podcasting specifically, what are the challenges behind, you know, creating a podcast. So you're bringing in, like, for example, discoverability. You just nailed it. It's exactly what probably Podeo or other, let's say, platform could address to help podcasters get more successful, and to help this particular channel becoming a real business, right? So because that's the end of the day what motivates all the creators to keep up. Thank you so much for this.
The last thing I wanted to mention, we also launched our ad tech. So it's now we're matching brands to creators. So you could finally be able to monetize here in the region. So it's been great.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, but I think we are due for like a really proper meetup and the presentation there. So by the way, Podster is arranging regular meetups at the studio. We've got, I think, 6 amazing sets available in the studio for recording, but also a great community of people like Lama and creators who are coming there to record their amazing shows. Thank you very much for this morning, Lama. I really enjoyed this conversation and the catch up, and pass by again. Enjoy the networking at Step. I will. Yay! Let's make it happen.
Bye, guys. Happy podcasting.